Apple didn't avoid foldable phones because they couldn't build one. They avoided them because they hated them. Too thick, too fragile, too many compromises, and worst of all, that crease. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like a crack in a windshield, but emotionally. And now, after years of silence, delays, and Apple pretending foldables didn't exist, we're finally getting our first real look at the iPhone Fold. And here's the wild part. Apple didn't just make a foldable, they waited until they could remove the one thing that ruined every foldable phone before it. No visible crease anywhere from any angle. Which raises a scary question for Samsung, Google, and basically everyone else. What happens if Apple just solved the biggest problem in the entire category on their first try? Because if these leaks are right, this isn't just another phone. This might be Apple resetting the rules. Foldables have always lived in this weird tech limbo. Impressive to look at, fun to demo in a store, and then quietly annoying to actually live with. They're expensive, chunky, and always feel like you're beta testing the future for companies that aren't quite there yet. And Apple hates that. Apple doesn't ship almost. They ship late, polished, and annoyingly confident about it. And that's why the iPhone Fold matters. Not because it folds, but because Apple is positioning it above the Pro Max. This isn't a side quest, this is the main character. Apple streamlining the lineup and putting the Fold at the top tells us everything. This is their vision for where the iPhone goes next, not a fun experiment for tech YouTubers to drop on concrete. So let's talk about the hardware, because this is where Apple starts flexing quietly. When folded, the iPhone Fold behaves like a normal phone. No weird proportions, no unusable cover screen energy. You're looking at a 5.5-inch outer display with a centered punch hole camera built for quick replies, maps, calls, and one-handed use without feeling like you're compromising. Then you open it and suddenly you're holding a 7.8-inch tablet-style display that feels much closer to a mini iPad than a stretched phone. The internal screen uses a punch hole camera tucked into the top left, keeping the rest of the display clean for multitasking, content, and actual work. And somehow, despite having two displays, Apple made this thing absurdly thin. 9mm folded, 4.5mm unfolded. That's thinner than some phones that don't even fold, which already tells you Apple spent an unhealthy amount of time obsessing over tolerances. Camera-wise, Apple keeps it familiar but refined. Two selfie cameras, one inside and one outside, likely 18-megapixel multi-aspect sensors. On the back, a dual camera setup in a horizontal camera bar that feels very Apple Air inspired. The big rumor here is the main sensor. If the 200-megapixel stacked camera coming to the Pro Max is real, there's a very good chance it lands here too, paired with a 48-megapixel ultra-wide. And yes, Apple is going all in on AI-powered photography again, driven by the A20 Pro's upgraded neural engine. Smarter HDR, faster processing, better low-light video. The usual Apple, it just looks better, magic. And then there's biometrics, no Face ID at all. Instead, Touch ID built straight into the power button. And honestly, that's a rare Apple W. It works folded. It works unfolded. No awkward angles, no guessing where your face is, just instant unlock like it's 2016 but better. Here's where this stops being a spec sheet and starts being real life. Imagine commuting, phone closed, replying to messages, checking maps, one-handed like a normal human. Then you sit down, open it, and suddenly you're editing photos, running two apps side by side, watching YouTube without black bars, or pretending you're productive on a train with a spreadsheet open. The dual battery setup, estimated around 5,600 milliamp hours split across two cells, isn't about chasing insane numbers. It's about balance, weight distribution, efficiency, consistent all-day use, whether you're folded or unfolded. This is Apple choosing reliability over bragging rights, which is very on-brand. Now, yes, Samsung technically got here first, and yes, companies like The Verge and 9to5Mac have been watching foldables mature for years. But here's the difference. Everyone else accepted the crease as good enough. Apple said no. And the most important leak of all is the display, a metal plate beneath the screen spreading pressure evenly. A liquid metal hinge engineered for precision and long-term durability. The result? A folding OLED that appears completely flat when opened. No crease, not subtle, not you only see it at an angle, just gone. And this isn't sci-fi. Samsung Display already showed creaseless folding OLED tech at CES. And yes, Samsung Display supplies Apple. Irony levels are high. The expectation is Samsung may debut something similar first. But Apple's entire strategy here is clear. Let someone else go first, then ship it when it actually feels finished. Here's my take, and it might annoy some people. This phone isn't for foldable fans. It's for people who hate foldables, people who want an iPhone that turns into an iPad without feeling like a science project. If you're a power user, a creative, someone who actually multitasks, this might be the first foldable that makes sense long term. And the ignored angle, longevity. A creaseless display isn't just prettier, it ages better, it resells better, it feels premium for longer. That matters when you're spending laptop money on a phone. Now, let's be adults for a second. The price, somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500. That's not expensive. That's unhinged. That's explain this purchase to your bank territory. And it's still a first-gen product. No matter how polished Apple is, early adopters are always the test pilots. Repairs won't be cheap. Accessories will be niche. And software, iPad-level multitasking on iOS, still has questions to answer. Apple needs to earn this price, not just justify it. If Apple delivers what these leaks suggest, the iPhone Fold won't just be Apple's first foldable. It'll be the first foldable that feels complete, not experimental, not compromised, just right. My verdict? Don't rush it. Watch the launch. But if the crease is truly gone, the entire foldable market just changed, let me know in the comments. Would you ever spend this much on a phone, or is this pure tech madness? And if this breakdown saved you from impulse buying a second mortgage disguised as a smartphone, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.